Listen to the 48 Hours podcast for shocking murder cases and compelling real-life dramas from one of television's most watched true crime shows. Go behind the scenes of each episode with award-winning CBS News correspondents and producers in Postmortem, a weekly deep dive. Listen to 48 Hours wherever you get your podcasts.
Inspired by the life of the savvy and ambitious Colombian businesswoman Griselda Blanco comes a new Netflix original limited series. Griselda tells the story of a devoted mother who, with her lethal blend of charm and relentless savagery, creates one of the most powerful cartels in history. Witness Sofia Vergara's captivating transformation into the godmother of the underworld. Griselda, now streaming only on Netflix.
Burn again, burn again, burn again. ABCs.
Welcome to the Bare Naked ABCs, where we discuss every song from 7 to Y, even the ones that are so rare and hard to find that we had to look them up to confirm they exist. And joining me tonight are three guys that I look up to all the time.
Is it because they're short?
Waka waka waka.
That joke was so bad.
Statler and Waldorf.
Yeah, that was what I was going for. Yeah.
If you haven't picked up on it, tonight's song that we will be discussing is Looking Up, off from what album, Aaron?
I have no earthly idea what album this is off of. This was a tough one. It's clearly Latter Day BNL, right? I'm thinking either Grinning Streak or Fake Nudes. I'm gonna guess Fake Nudes.
You got it.
Hey, okay.
This one's from the Church of Latter-day Bare Naked
It is.
Ladies.
Latter Day.
If you've never heard this song from the Latter-day Bare Naked Ladies, here is a quick snippet.
People want to take a high dive into a drink. Some people want to watch the world swirl into the sink. Why would you argue, is the glass half full? It's a mess. I drank the first half, you can drink the rest. Hey!
That's how I'm going to refer to them exclusively from now on.
From here on out, yeah.
Latter Day.
The Mormon BNL.
LDB.
So this song, the Church of
Apologies to my friends in Salt Lake.
We know you listen.
Yeah. Some of them probably do. They found my Twitch. They can find this.
Joseph Smith, come on the show.
Things are looking up. We're starting out with a bang.
So
at least this
was,
isn't Have You Seen My Love, where we bring them young.
That's right. This song was co-written by Ed Robertson, Better Than Ezra's Kevin Griffin,
oh, really?
and the esteemed songwriter Sam Hollumbde, who has worked with a number of different bands, such as Panic at the Disco, Train, Weezer, One Direction,
wow.
Blink-182, Ringo Starr, Katy Perry, Carole King, and I could go on for quite some time, but a long list. It's about 30 people long.
That's a very eclectic mix of songs, and most of them I don't hate.
I'm just going to preface this by saying that the Dust Brothers, whose production work I very much respect, helped Hanson create Bop, so you can't hit them all out of the park.
I actually love Bop and Hanson, by the way.
Have
you heard Hanson's later stuff? Like now that they're actually
I have not
band.
listened. I've never listened to Hanson intentionally, and I haven't heard them since 1997.
Weird Al has actually directed several of their videos.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah,
well.
yes.
Okay. All right.
Like, give them a shot.
I'm curiosity.
I'm actually being serious. Legit. Yeah.
They're probably. I mean, honestly, like when I was kind of being silly there. If I'm being honest, like Bop is so infectious. You know what I mean? Like it accomplishes what it's set out to do very well. It's I had a sister who was in love with Hanson. So there was like one summer that I could not escape that song
Sure.
ever. So
Like,
it
yeah.
kind of stuck in my craw.
But yeah, they actually became a legit band, and they're still putting out music, and Weird Al loves them and actually directed some
what?
of their videos. Yeah.
Good for them, and I am curious now.
Yeah.
That's why I love this show, man. I love having these discussions with you guys. I learn something new every time.
I didn't even know
Tracy,
it was
don't
still
die.
in existence.
No, I'm just recovering from a cold, so I apologize. I will hopefully be cutting out most of the hacks out of my coughing tonight, out of my
But
recording.
in a way, aren't we all hacks?
We are
definitely.
hack frauds. Hack frauds all the way down.
Now, Aaron, correct me if I'm wrong.
You're wrong.
I was about to say that.
The horns that are in this
Move on.
song are not actually horns; they are just synth, right?
Probably. They're pretty decent if they are synth.
Because it says here that I was
Sounds like
reading an
synth
article, and it says the indelible, joyful anthem delivers triumphant melodies along with fiery horn work from Los Lobos saxophonist Steve Berlin and longtime Sun Ra trumpeter Michael Ray. But
Ed wrote that, didn't he?
Okay, so then real horns, which is
It
cool.
doesn't sound like real horns.
I actually, in my notes, wrote the word mariachi. So
Yeah.
it's interesting that Los Lobos was
did too,
involved.
yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, Steve Berlin, he takes my breath away.
Oh.
Take my breath away.
Like, I would not have said
Another
that these
legit band, by the way, I could point out. But
Matter of fact, my major note for tonight, the trouble with Tracy tonight, was going to be that, like, I would prefer to have flutes and horns in this playing rather than the synth, because it does not sound.
Well, it sounds like it is from what you just read, right? They
Well,
have a saxophone and a
yeah,
trumpet.
they have an actual
right.
horn.
I don't know if they played around with it with the system or something. So
it could have been
sounds-
some equalization and post processing and stuff. But I actually, until you said keyboards, I assumed they were real.
Really.
So yeah,
See, they didn't sound real to me. They sounded synthetic. They sounded like they were created.
I'd have to listen again now that you've said that. But yeah, my guess is it's like effects and post processing and stuff. This song is. This is like the U2 sound with like all the reverb, and I kind of go into that in my notes as well. I wrote down.
I was
this,
going
like,
to ask that,
arena
though,
rock.
Aaron. I know we haven't gotten to the breakdown yet,
Sure.
but how do you feel about the mix of this song? Because that was something I did jot down. I felt like the mix of this song was really weird.
I'm tipping my hand a little bit. I'm not a huge fan of this song.
Wait,
It's not awful or
a
anything
happy,
like that.
happy
You know?
song that you're not into?
Oh
What?
yeah, Aaron doesn't like the
right up
happy
your
song.
alley, Aaron.
Yeah,
This is your kind of song.
nobody would have guessed that they would come to this. It's you know, I mean, the way that I try and give all of these songs a fair shake because you know BNL is a great band, lots of really talented people, and you know even the happy stuff. I'm like, yeah, you know, some of these happy songs I really like. What I try and do is like I try and visualize the context, right? And for me, I was guessing this was off Fake Nudes, right? So I was like, okay, this is modern, this is like contemporary, this is like recent, right? And in my, you know, visualization of this, it's like, well, they're playing arenas, they're playing huge venues, right? They're playing football fields and stuff like that. So I thought of it very much again like U2, like all the reverb, all the effects, and just like playing, and then like it's like a expansive wall of sound. Within that context, when I think about that, it makes sense, but it's not my favorite. I don't care for it. Like again, it's, you know, whatever. They're, you know, laughing all the way to the bank. Who am I? I'm some dude with a Twitch stream and a podcast with you guys. But like, you know, it wasn't great in my opinion. It's just my opinion.
If it wasn't for Ed singing, I wouldn't have recognized this as Bare Naked Ladies.
Yeah, you can see that.
It's U3.
And
No,
this
it's
is,
you too.
2 Utes, I think is what it is.
Oh, yes. For Utes.
What was that word again?
Oh, excuse me, youths.
well, Aaron, do you want to give us a musical breakdown on this song?
Break it
Sure,
down.
let's break it down. Wiki. All right, Lookin Up was recorded at exactly 120 beats per minute, written in the key of C major. My spider sense was telling me, and I guess this was just confirmed by Tracy, that this was primarily written by Ed. It's a very Ed song, but apparently there were some guest writers. I was not aware of that. That's interesting. This is a 4-chord song. Let's not beat around the bush here. This is a 4-chord song, and I mean, it is 4 chords. The only chords you will hear in this song are C major, G major, A minor, and F major, which is 1, 4, 6, 4.
So not the 4-chord song, but a 4-chord.
Exactly. It's not that one that we're all. It's not the Axis of Awesome,
right?
But it is. It's a little variation on the old 1, 4, 5. It's 1, 5, 6, 4. So the pre-chorus is C, G, F. It cuts out the A minor middleman, and we're straight up 1, 5, 4 until the A minor is added, and it kicks back to C, G, A minor, F for the chorus. So interestingly enough, we have a verse and a chorus that are identical, with a pre-chorus that drops one of the chords for the change. Interestingly enough, I will call the chorus C in spite of it having the same changes as the verse, because I do think the feel is different, thanks largely to the build-up from the pre-chorus. We have intro, which is your A section, your verse changes. Verse 1 is A, of course, as well. Pre-chorus is B, chorus is C. Verse 2 is A, pre-chorus is B, chorus is C. There's an instrumental interlude, which is just over the verse changes, so that's A again. Pre-chorus is B, and then chorus is C. So you have AAB, my initials, CAB, CAB, C. So ab, cab, cab, k. It ends pretty abruptly.
It's an ACAB song?
Yeah. Captain Abcab. But this it ends pretty abruptly. This song is, to me, very illustrative of latter-day BNL, the LDB. It's happy, poppy, simple, has an uplifting chorus, lots of reverb on the vocals and poppy synth lines. Like I said, it sounds like arena pop rock, which, of course, these days is pretty much what BNL is. They play these huge venues, and they've got these kind of, happy, uplifting pop songs. So we have, as far as I can tell, again, 4 chords in the entire song. As I've said many a time, simple is not necessarily bad. I am an unabashed Nirvana fanboy, so it would be silly of me to say I don't like simple music. Not true. But I think my 2 major complaints about this song are, A, the lack of a bridge. The instrumental interlude kind of serves as that, and the horns are fun. Tracy, it made me think of Q from Star Trek The Next Generation playing in the mariachi band. And that synth line sound... Oh, yeah. My other big... The trouble with Aaron. That synth line sounds like one of those royalty-free songs that YouTubers play in the background of their unboxing videos.
Yes.
Like the whole time in the back of my head, I could just hear some makeup YouTuber saying, so this is from Birchbox. We have a volcanic ash eyeliner, or whatever they put in those things. And it was just, it kind of took me out.
Now we're going to open the Kinder Egg.
Yeah. That's your European YouTube.
Yes.
They don't allow that in America.
5 million views, whatever.
But yeah, so, not to be a hater, but this one didn't resonate with me too much. How about you guys? I like the horns. The horns were nice.
Once again, I think the horns just sounded really fake to me. Like, when I think horns, I really want to hear like Huey Lewis and the News type horns. I want to hear Earth, Wind, and Fire horns. Like, give me horns, and I would really love to have heard that by like unprocessed, because it does sound like they did something production wise.
We had solid horns on a BNL song not too long ago too. I can't remember which one it was, but
yeah.
We had a song like a week or two ago that had really solid horns on it. That sounded like legit horns.
According to the video, it looked like they recorded most of it on an island, a deserted island. So I mean, it's hard to find horns
with a blow up doll
on such a location. I can understand that.
Maybe that's the reason they went with the fake horns.
So they
were able to plug in the keyboard though.
I have to share a story. Tracy, you mentioned Earth, Wind, and Fire. When I hear them, I always think of Blood, Sweat, and Tears, because one of my professors from UMA, Chuck Winfield, played trumpet in Blood, Sweat, and Tears. And that was really cool because I was in his band one year. So I was playing drums in a funk band with the trumpet player from Blood, Sweat, and Tears, which was like amazing. Except that he always brought out the metronome during rehearsals, and that was driving me absolutely bonkers. Like, don't do that to a drummer, guys.
I mean, if the bar you're setting for this song is Blood, Sweat, and Tears,
oh yeah, yeah, no, it doesn't measure up.
That's gonna be harsh right there.
Yeah, sorry about that. By the way,
wow. So comparing this to an Earth, Wind, and Fire song, I'd have to.
They did Shining Star, right?
Yes.
Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I always think Spinning Wheel with Blood, Sweat, and Tears. That's a great.
Oh
song.
yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Stefan, I interrupted you. What are your thoughts on the sound of the song?
It's different. It's something that I wouldn't expect when I first played it. Like I said, I mean, I wouldn't have known it was BNL unless I heard Ed, and Ed is quite distinct. So, I really don't know what to think of this song. I really don't. I don't want to say that they're selling out, but it's kind of like this is a sellout song. I don't know what to make of it, honestly. I'm still thinking about it. So, I know that BNL, whatever they put their hands to, whatever genre of music it is, they do a good job with it. We did a country song just the other week, a couple of weeks ago or something like that. Yeah. And as far as a country song, I thought that was great. It could have charted, I thought. So, I mean, whatever they put their energy towards, they really do a good job. And I think that this was, it didn't have horns, but it accomplished what they were trying to achieve, I think. And that was like a, kind of a poppy song that really,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I don't know how to describe it, but I think they accomplished what they were trying to achieve. And as far as a poppy, uplifting song, I think they accomplished that too. Is it like the top in my list? No, not at all. Probably not by a long shot, but I still thought it was interesting.
Now, you said, Stefan, that this does not, like, you would never have, if you didn't know it was Ed singing, would have attributed it to BNL. Would you have said this was like a filler song on the album, or a song that maybe would be a deeper song on the album, if you guys had to guess?
I'm from the framing of your question, I'm guessing this is like the first song on the album.
No, this had to be like the first single.
This is the first single they released off this.
Was a single, yeah. This was definitely a single. Yeah.
This is what they're like.
I would have called that.
Would you have called it, or would you have called it the way I framed the question?
No, I would have. The problem is it's hard to miss. If you look up the song, you get an official video, and that to me, and the way they sold the video, is it looks like they're trying to sell this as a first single. I mean, they've got the people on the cruise ship jamming out to this song, and they're like rocking out to this. I'll
have to go watch the video.
Yeah, they really sold this as a single. I think it should have been.
I just get the impression that BNL with this song, they're just trying to stay relevant, and I don't like that.
That was more brutal than anything I could have said.
That was harsh.
But
not in a bad way, Stefan. I agree with you.
That's the interesting
thing.
That's
the life of a band. I mean, a band has their heyday, and then they kind of fade. I mean, you guys were talking about Hanson, and Hanson should have been extinct after Bop, but I didn't even know that they're still going. I didn't even know that they're.
I would take Bop after this song over this song any day.
Well, to speak to what Stefan was saying earlier, I totally agree with you, Stefan. Like, they know their instruments, they're very talented, and I agree with you. I think they accomplished what they were trying to achieve. I just am not necessarily the person to appreciate that particular genre and sound. So this is not me saying it's a bad song or that they're bad. Certainly, obviously, at this point, anyone who's listened to more than a few episodes knows I don't think that they're a bad band. It's just not. It's not my bag, baby.
No, seriously, everyone. Before you continue this episode, just know that if you go back and listen to the other 3,000 episodes. We love BNL.
Yes.
Contrary to popular belief.
You might not get that impression tonight, but
it's funny because on this song that is about what it's about, we're going in a very different direction.
yeah. Least likely to succeed, and now I'm in this band, and this is my jam. This is my song right here.
I mean, I think musically it's a very simple song, so I don't think there's a lot to kind of break down on this song. Like even the bridge is very, very simplistic. It's meant to be poppy, and I think that's what they went for, and I think that's what they did.
Like I said, one of my issues with the song early on is the mix does not sound right on this. It sounds very muddy to me.
Yeah,
it's a little flooded.
Vocally.
There's too much reverb, and I say that as someone who hates the sound of my own voice and therefore always drenches my vocals with reverb, so I sound like I'm singing from the bottom of a well. And I still think this is too much reverb.
Says the guy who beautifully does the intro to this show. By the way.
Beautifully.
Just want to point that out.
I should have done like multiple takes and used auto-tune or something if I'd known.
No, I love the intro. Like you sound great on that.
Oh well, thank you. But
yeah, I think the mix on this one
it's a little muddy.
It's muddy. Yeah, it's vocally not very clear. The chorus when it hits, I'm not hearing that clarity that I like to hear like from previous BNL. Something's going on there, and it doesn't quite gel with me.
I'm trying to look up and see how well this song did when it was released as a single, but I can tell you one thing.
And I mean, I don't feel like we
page on Wikipedia.
When was it released?
Wow,
it was released in 2017.
Holy smokes! Okay,
yeah, 2017.
Well, and we make the joke. We make the joke. We're talking about Mbop, and we're divided. But I gotta say this. I like Mbop, and I love Hanson, and I will die on this hill. But you remember the chorus to Mbop. Are you going to remember the chorus of this song in 10 years?
No.
No, you will not. You know what I'm saying?
Well, it's interesting you say that, Jeff, because in my mind, I'm comparing this to Bringing It Home.
Yeah.
And I remember that chorus. And I think in retrospect, I was a little, I probably should have been a little kinder to that song. I like that song a lot more.
Right. If someone says 1 week, you're going to start singing.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
been 1 week. You're going to remember that hook. You're not going to remember the hook.
Yeah, who sings 1 week?
It doesn't.
Isn't
Hanson!
It's a different band.
Yes.
That band didn't write this song. I know that for a fact.
That was Hanson's second single. Anyway, yeah. They were not a one-hit wonder by any means.
While Tracy's looking up his statistics, I should share. I sincerely doubt he'll ever listen to this, but the former bass player of my band, The Second Child, Stu Mahan, amazing bass player, total monster on the bass, and very, very funny, very sarcastic, very dry humor. And I miss him dearly, but he's doing great. He's doing all kinds of gigs these days.
Oh, he's still alive. That's good.
Yeah, fortunately. No, but we were in...
Bass players are the least likely band member to die.
We were in... Well, not like the drummer is always, according to Spinal Tap, the drummer is the most precarious position to be in, right?
Right.
But we were in I want to say a music theory class with Chuck, because I mentioned Chuck earlier, and Chuck could be acerbic if you were not on point with your answers. And Stu probably hadn't studied, and he asked him a question, and he didn't have a good answer, and Chuck said something sarcastic. And Stu, not one to just take it, looked at him and said in his typical voice, he said, what was it like playing with Chicago? And I just immediately was like, hey, we need to form a band now. He's a great guy.
This is my night of my favorite bands being bashed, and I'm not sure how I feel. As a huge Chicago fan.
Oh, no, I don't dislike Chicago. 25 or 6-4 is
they're one of the oldest running bands out there.
Oh, yeah.
So...
We could go on lots of tangents tonight because I hear old people go late.
How are your feelings on the Eagles? Because now I'm just thinking of that line from The Big Lebowski. I've had a rough night and I hate the fucking Eagles, man.
I'm pulling us back. I want to talk about
Boo.
We'll talk about that later.
Music on this. I want to talk about
TV.
the acoustic version of this for those who listen to the acoustic version.
Everywhere I go is home. Every town and every road. Every song I've ever known. Carried in my bones. I feel like a lightning strike. Every time I rock the mic. You can join me if you like, or I'll go on my own. I'm looking up. I'm looking up. All the way up.
They can make this acoustic? I don't.
Was there a bathroom
think-
session?
No, there was
I
a
didn't hear it.
completely other album release called Fake Nudes Nude, which they did the whole album acoustically.
And naked.
So basically, instead of the synth and the horns, Kevin's on piano. They do some scatting during the bridge. I think personally, out of the two versions, I like the acoustic version much better.
Okay, first of all, you can never follow the word naked with piano and scatting.
And why would they want to redo this album in acoustic? I mean, isn't the first go around bad enough? It's just.
Oh!
Wow!
Oh,
I thought Fake Nudes was like better. I mean, it's better than Silver
Dig a
Ball, in my
hole,
opinion. At least from what I've
bury
heard.
yeah,
it
it
and
is.
move
I
on.
agree. I agree.
That's what I'd say.
Our continuing theme of dumping on Silver Ball.
Wow.
No, we have like at least one fan who's like really into Silver Ball. So apologies.
Yes.
Was that Tim or?
I don't
Yeah,
remember
yeah.
who it was that was really into Silver Ball, but yes.
Honestly, I've heard a couple of decent songs.
We'll get to them at some point.
I'm leaning into it.
We've hit very few songs off from Silver Ball so far, so.
Was Boomerang on Silver Ball?
No,
That was a good one.
no,
That was
Boomerang
decent. That a decent
was Grinning Streak.
one. No. Oh.
Yeah, that
Green
one
Streak,
just
okay.
keeps coming back.
I tried. Oh, but I'm.
Man.
I should just bring out my drum set for these recording sessions.
You should.
We've hit about half the album, and I just said that I don't think we've hit anything off the album yet. So that gives you a feeling about how much I love this album. Anyways, back on track with this album, which is Fake Nudes. So yeah, I really like the acoustic version of this much better. I still wish like there were like authentic, really blaring horns. I really would love that in this song, but so be it. They didn't do it. There's also the Selfie-Cam Jam that they did last year. And they're having a ton of fun on that one. And Kevin's on the piano and he's amazing. And I love at one point he's playing with one hand and he's acting with the other while he's playing. A little bit of a show off. And then of course we get Kevin on the we get Tyler on the bongos, which anytime that you're going to add bongos into a song, I am all for that.
I can definitely see how they would have fun with this song. Like I can hear how it's a fun song for the band to play. You see that in the video. I could see as a band they would have a fun time playing this song.
Yeah,
Does that make it a great song?
I just listened to a little bit of the acoustic version, Tracy, and I'm in agreement. I think it's a little better than the studio version. And as to what Jeff just said, yeah, you can tell they're having fun playing, and that's nice and that's cool. And again, thinking about context, seeing them perform this live, I think would be more fun than just listening to it.
Yeah,
and,
sure.
and there's like definitely something that gets transferred there, like as far as emotional content is concerned.
Yeah, they know their audience. They know the audience is going to get behind it, and arguably, yeah. I mean, I'm not a huge fan of this song either. Showing my cards. But, I mean, if I went out to see Bare Naked Ladies, I'm not going to be upset if they break into this.
No, I would love it.
I'm going to be like, yeah, we're going to say, yeah, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a fun song in that sense.
What I thought was different.
That said, I have a lot of issues with this song.
What I thought was different is usually the older BNL, some of the songs that we've reviewed, there's a level of darkness in the songs that is masked by good instrumentals and a good sound, and this is like this isn't one of those. This is just, it's an uplifting, positive, hey, I'm looking up, I'm trying to be encouraging kind of song, and the music goes along with what they're trying to accomplish with it. Which is, I don't know if it's typical for modern BNL, but for older stuff with when Steve was in the band, then it wasn't, atypical.
Mm-hmm.
You mean you couldn't follow you couldn't follow I Know by this song? I mean,
I don't
you
know.
couldn't follow a song about wanting to murder someone and then do Looking Up like that? What?
Yeah, exactly. So
I live with it every day. I'm looking up.
Yeah, I mean, how many dark songs have we reviewed? Quite a few. How many have we gone into and we're like, oh, wow, that took a turn.
But I think that's the turn that these guys really decided to make after they decided to do a 4-piece, is that a lot of their songs did become much more upbeat and positive and focused in that direction. And I mean, if you think of the song Flip that just got released recently, like that is a very positive song as well about the current situation we're living in.
Which I love. I love. I love Flip.
That some year.
We'll get to it. I love Flip. But
don't worry, Jeff. We'll be getting to the F's here soon.
I mean,
okay, good. Yeah.
In terms of like just
what are we on
positivity,
now?
like this song is very positive. Like, and
it is. Yeah.
So Ed's statement about this song was like, "Looking Up is a reaction to what I think is a false narrative of constant peril and imminent doom. It is so easy to get bogged down and fixate on all of the terrible things that happen, but there are actually a lot of good things that go on in the world, and it's still possible to be optimistic." And I think he captures that with this song. I think he gives that kind of feel with the music and with the lyrics.
Sure.
This is an interesting sticking point for me because nice Invader Zim reference there, Steph. Don't think I didn't appreciate that. This is a topic that's kind of near and dear to my heart, Tracy, actually, because I thought about this before, and I have a lot. You know me, I'm into dark and dreary and brooding music.
If you're better looking, and
there are
Batman.
There are some bands that I've felt their music seems kind of insincere later on in their careers. And I'm thinking, like, well, that's probably because they're now millionaires and they have a really, really nice life. And they're probably, when they wrote their earlier music, they were probably starving artists and they were probably depressed. And they were probably dealing with a bunch of stuff and exercising those demons. And that creates great art some of the time. So, like, maybe if they're trying to do the same thing years later and they're not in the same place emotionally, it comes off as insincere. So, on one hand, I appreciate when a band or an artist is in a different place and still comes from something honestly. Like, probably Ed is not. He probably is in a much better place than he was 20 years ago or whatever. And good, and I'm glad that he is. And I'm glad, to a certain extent, I would rather he make music that honestly expresses how he's feeling. But on the other hand, I'm also like, but I really like the dark and depressing stuff. So, I don't know. It's a tough
Maybe
call.
they need to reintroduce drug use and, other debaucherous activities into
Don't do drugs, kids.
Into their lives so that they can produce better material. Maybe they need to just divorce their wives and probably adopt out their children, stuff like that.
Well, as our friends,
I don't know if I totally agree with the way this has gone, though, because but going off what Aaron said, though, I mean, I think a lot of times, I absolutely 100% agree with you. When artists are starting out and they're broke and they're miserable, a lot of great art comes out of that. They become successful, they have money, they do that. And I know this is not what you're saying, but I wanted to add that. But that doesn't make people happy either. So,
very true.
In a lot of cases, they could be miserable as hell and have to hide that. And then you have a record company, right? Brian Wilson, right? And not just music, Robin Williams, so there's that feeling of maybe you're not happy despite the fact that the world is giving you everything. I don't think that's Ed, first of all, but you also do have a record company basically telling you this is what you need to keep putting out because it's making money. So I feel like there's that part of it too. So I think sometimes that great art can seep in as well. That said, going off of that, I think I do like hearing what Ed said about this because I do think that shines through.
Yeah.
I think he is being sincere and legit in this.
Oh,
song.
yeah. I don't doubt that at all. And I just want to get ahead of this. I think it's too late, but in case anyone's like, oh, Aaron only likes dark and depressing and brooding music. I just want to say, okay, maybe the lyrics are a little bittersweet, but as far as the music goes, Enid is a very, very upbeat, poppy, catchy tune, and I rated it a 5, and it is one of my favorite BNL
But it's
songs.
also dark. Enid has some dark lines in it, though.
Yeah.
Right, but I'm just saying, musically speaking,
musically, it's like the pumped up kicks. It's one of those happy songs about a very dark subject, and Enid has some dark stuff in it.
Well, I want to bring up one of the lines
I agree
in
with
this
you.
song. I want your opinions of what you thought.
I'ma see the donut, you can see the hole.
This is just a glass half empty, glass half full optimism, pessimism thing, I think.
Now, I like that line personally in terms of what he's saying. I kind of like enjoy that metaphor. Like, I'll see the donut, you can see the hole, you can see the negative end of the part that always rankles me is the I'ma see the donut. I'm like, no. Why couldn't you just speak normal language there, Ed? Like, no.
Because of the flow. It
has to match to match the syllable scheme.
He was fitting the flow. It
poetic license there, Tracy.
It does follow with the previous line too, which is you go and worry about the things you can't control. I'ma see the donut. So he was going with the flow in that. And you're worrying about things you can't control, I've got this.
But
I can control this.
You guys, you're not focusing.
It was a flow thing. I think it was.
You're not focusing on the right thing, Tracy. And in fact, I retract my earlier statement. It's not an optimism pessimism thing. Clearly, a corporate sponsorship with Tim Hortons. They're trying to sell more Timbits. I miss Tim Hortons, man. I miss Tim Hortons. I wish they'd come back to me.
What if it's the hole that holds the donut together? You have to think about that.
What?
It's the only thing that connects everything.
Without the hole, is it really a donut, or is it just some kind of pastry?
Oh, it's all of the above.
It's a Bavarian cream.
Yeah. Is that actually a donut, or is that?
That's a good point. Like, is a Bavarian cream donut really a donut?
I mean, it's my favorite.
Because it doesn't have a hole. Boston cream, whatever.
Yeah, it's Boston cream, dude. Go park your car.
I live in Pennsylvania. Come on. I live in Amish country.
Dude, there's like a Dunks across from a Dunks over by my yard.
I don't know what accent that was, Aaron. But
that was you know what that was? That was a Mainer raised by a Canadian trying to sound like he's from Boston.
Dude, that was butchered. I mean, who killed that thing? You need to bring that suck out back and put it down.
Dude, butchered. Yeah, there you go. How do you like them apples?
So
now the other line in this song that really always gets me, and I really looked deep to try to find this. I could not find it. Please, if there's anything out there
deep in the hole, by the way, deep in the hole. Sorry, I'll stop mentioning the hole. I know.
From what you should probably put some Bavarian cream on that hole.
Wow.
I'm gonna see the donut. You can see the hole.
I have filled many donuts in my life.
I'm leaving that alone.
Yes, Tracy.
I was going to the line. I was going to talk about the yearbook line. I really tried to go back. If there's anyone out there that knows for sure whether or not Ed really was voted least likely to succeed in his yearbook, I want to know. Is this just Ed making up a line, or was this an actual fact? Because Ed likes to put those things in there.
I mean, if he was, then what a great
and that's
what a great little FU.
That's what, Talking about buggy lines though, because I do feel like they follow a great line with a line that bothers me. In the first verse. The first verse has the why would you argue if the glass is half full? It's a mess. I drink the first half, you can drink the rest. I love that line. I actually like that line.
I like the line, but as a germaphobe, that kills me.
I'm iffy about the second couplet because 1 foot on the pedal, 1 hand on the wheel, don't know where I'm headed, but it starts right here. And I almost wanted to rhyme it because I feel like this is BNL. You've written some of the best rhyming puns in the history of music, and that's where you're going to go with this line. And it just, I don't know, something doesn't feel right about that line with me. It feels weird not to have a rhyming couplet there. And it feels a little generic to me. 1 foot on the pedal, 1 hand on the wheel. They've done better. They've done better than that line.
How many people put 2 foots on a pedal? 2 foots? 2 foots. 2 feet.
2 foots.
Fishies.
Well, right. It feels like a very generic line to me, and then to not end it with a good, solid, kind of rhyming pun. That feels weird to me.
Well, and there's a lot of words you can rhyme with wheel like that.
You don't even have to go with wheel.
Like,
why did he choose whatever you want to? But that first.
1 foot on the pedal, 1 hand on the wheel. Now excuse me while I explain my spiel.
Excuse me while I introduce my ass to your heel.
Just throwing it out there.
What?
Wait, you're at... Whoa.
I meant it the other way around,
Tracy,
but that didn't come out right.
Time and a place. There's classified ads in Craigslist for a reason. This is not
I
the
meant
place.
it the other way around. I didn't quite work right, but I'm going to have to recover.
I don't even know where to go from here. How do we recover?
Well, speaking of great visualizations, why don't we talk about the video?
Let's not. All right, let's just discuss the elephant in the room. The video has a blow-up doll.
It does. And so does the album.
Okay, I'm gonna have to
that's
watch
from
this
the
on
album.
mute.
That is from the pictures and the album covers. And
Man, if Tom Hanks had a blow-up doll in Castaway, it is a Castaway thing. Yeah.
Okay, so they're doing a Castaway thing. Yeah.
If Tom Hanks had a blow-up doll in Castaway, that movie would have been totally different. Yeah.
Well,
I mean, this is on the inside of their
Sure.
album. I mean, it's
Wow.
I don't know why they decided to go that way. I mean, I get that they are fake nudes, but I don't know.
I love the people at the cruise ship too, though, just totally jamming out to this song. Like,
People that can't hear the song.
Best BNL song ever! Woohoo!
Yes.
Is Kevin playing
He sure is, yes.
homemade
Absolutely.
xylophone
Yeah.
with human femurs? Okay, I found my little shred of darkness.
Yeah, they're Andy Cregan's femurs, actually.
Oh, okay.
That's what happened to them. They ate them.
Andy, come back on the show.
They went
please.
full on Timothy. Sorry.
That was dark. Well, okay, so I've only kind of scrubbed through the video on mute while we were talking because I didn't actually see it prior. I mean, it's clear they're going with the make the best of a bad situation kind of thing here. Like, we're stuck on a desert island, we're going to start a band and have a party and make music and have a fun, some kind of thing with a blow-up doll. Let's not go there.
I'm not gonna let this bad situation bring me down. I'm gonna find a way to be positive.
Yeah, it's Candide, the song.
Yeah.
But the other people in the
Voltaire.
video aren't necessarily staying positive. You know, you get Jim that decides to go hunting, Tyler that's trying to get help but failing miserably and getting angry, and Kevin's going nuts and talking to puppets because he doesn't want to talk to the soccer ball. I kind of like the video. It's fun and it goes along with the music, and that is fun. It tells a story, but it's not like the best video in the world that I'm like, oh my God, you got to go out and watch this video. Like, it changed my view of this song.
I appreciate this song from the context of having finally, maybe possibly starting to be coming out of quarantine, where I myself have very long hair and a beard now.
And a bear gut.
Well, I've always had that.
They were ahead of their time. They saw this coming long before us. Well, why don't we put some numbers to this? Why don't we give it a ranking, Jeff?
Here we go. So we're going to do this on a scale of 0 to 5 femurs.
Femurs, I like it.
We're going to do femurs. It was either that or blow-up dolls, but we're going to do femurs. I'm going to go first tonight, actually. I don't normally do that. I don't normally do that, do I? But I figured I'll set the bar nice and low for y'all. I'm not a fan of this song, like a lot. If this is your first episode, you know that I love Bare Naked Ladies. Obviously, I give a lot of 5s. I give a lot of high scores. I have a lot of trouble with this one. I thought the mix was rough. It made it hard to listen to. Lyrically, it doesn't feel like a BNL song. I didn't think the hook really kind of resonated for me at all. I get where Ed was going, the whole... And there again, he's basically singing about why I shouldn't be saying anything, because he's doing this and I'm not. So, and that's fair enough. But it does feel like a very forced song to me. Even the video kind of shows that to me. Like, these are all the people enjoying this song. I don't know. I'm sure it's a fun song to hear them do live. I'm sure they love it. But as a BNL song, this one's rough for me. I'm going to have to give this one a 1.9.
Well, apparently, he's seeing the hole on the song.
Ooh, drinking the haterade.
Wow.
There's no donut to this.
You are not looking up to this song.
No, I'm not. I have trouble with this one. A lot of trouble. And I maybe it's just... Maybe I'll revisit it at the end of the year and it'll come up. There's a good chance, but right now I gotta go a little low on this one.
Wow.
Oh boy.
So we'll go with Stefan next.
Yeah.
Sorry.
This is weird, but I mean, I like uplifting. I like optimistic. I mean, one of my favorite songs is by Johnny Nash, which is "I Can See Clearly Now the Rain Is Gone," and is this that? No. But
yeah, great song.
But I like the premise behind it, and for me, it really surprised me because I didn't expect it at all. So I like the lyrics behind it. I like the optimism behind it. The pop sound to it was different than what I'm accustomed to. But is it all that bad for me? It isn't. So, gosh, I fluctuate with, is it BNL? I'm not sure. But is it a good song based off of what it is? I don't know. I just don't know. So, I don't know.
You can't see clearly what the score is.
I think what I've got here...
Just spend some time thinking about it. Just saying,
maybe I've got just a jelly donut that doesn't have a hole in it. It's just, but there's something filling this that I'm not sure about.
Just tell us what your croissant.
You're saying you expected a Boston cream, you bit into it, and it was filled with baked beans.
Oh,
well,
how is that bad though?
Oh,
well, if they were Boston baked beans.
I would love a baked bean filled Boston. That sounds delicious, dude.
Baked beans. Who doesn't like baked beans? Going down to Boston, going to Saugus, maybe Peabody, and you just don't know. You got to pack your
wicked
car,
awesome.
And there's some beans there. So you eat beans.
Some chowder.
You go down to Dunk's, you light one up, you have a coffee, you have a cigarette, you're good. You just move on with the day. It's great. So I'm going to rank this thing. Jesus, I don't know what to rank this thing.
I didn't plan on hurting you tonight, Stefan.
I know. My brain is going to explode. I'm going to say 2.8.
We broke Stefan.
How's that? It's just above average, but it's not like wow.
All right.
And you guys won't get too pissed off at me, I think. So.
No, it's what you like,
dude.
It's subjective.
It's your rating.
It's music, man. It's art. It's how you feel.
Speaking of the music, man, why don't we go to
the Psycho Gorman of music? Apparently,
why don't we go over to Aaron?
Well,
no, I was going to go to you next, actually. But all right. I wanted to do Aaron last tonight.
Oh, okay.
Tracy can go. That's fine.
We saved the best. I was going to save the best for last, Aaron. That's what I was doing.
You went and saved the best for last.
Did you hear that? Not even auto-tuned, and that was glorious. Come on.
I really like this song. But I like the analogy that we've been kind of using throughout this episode. I don't like the baked beans inside the donut idea, but I do like the idea of going with like a filled donut. Like a raspberry filled donut is what this song reminds me of, in that it is sweetness to the extreme, and I love a raspberry filled donut.
I just want donuts now. Thanks, Tracy. My beer gut
I
thanks
want
you.
some raspberry sorbet.
Now, is it the
regular listeners, just be prepared that the baked bean filled donut's probably going to pop up again from time to time.
It's a thing now.
We're not going to let that go. Anyway.
That sounds absolutely disgusting.
How long will we keep this show going?
So the raspberry filled donut sounds sweet and amazing, and I would love it, but it's not gourmet food. And that's what I think of with this song. Like, do I really enjoy this song? Yes. Will I play it when it comes on? Yes. Do I search it out? Definitely not. But I enjoy it when it comes on. It puts me in a good mood. But it's not gourmet. Like, I look at the other songs that I've given a 4 to, and those are songs that, like, I really respect the music behind it. I really respect the lyrics that are behind them. And I can't do that with this song. It just puts me in a good mood. Like, and because of that, I'm going to give it a higher ranking than probably I would normally think of in terms of, like, is it artistic? Like, it wouldn't get that high a score, but I like it enough. And if it had the real horns, it would go a little bit higher even. I'm going to give this a 3.65.
I think they are real horns.
4 members of the BNL podcast.
They are real horns, Tracy.
Don't sound it. Like,
Los Lobos is going to come after you.
These are not Earth, Wind, and Fire horns. Like, I want it to be.
They might be pre-recorded horns.
There's something horns. I don't know, but man, they produced them or something in this because they're not horns that I like, and that's a rarity to save for me.
Well, Aaron, since this is the song that is tearing the podcast apart, we're becoming civil court.
You are tearing me apart. Looking Up.
I don't know. We came to that with a long way back home.
Right.
That was pretty difficult.
So let me preface this by saying that we go from 0 to
4
5,
score,
right?
In 7 years.
I do not hate this song, right? If I did, it'd probably be in the 0 to 1 range, right? But when I think about, you just said, you if it came on, knowing, even if it was like, if I clicked BNL on Spotify and shuffled, knowing the great songs that are on there, I might skip it. I'm not saying I definitely would. I might be like, okay, I can jam with this, but it's like in the Twilight Zone there. So again, I keep comparing this to Bringing It Home, because Bringing It Home, very similar in terms of like attitude, optimistic, it's uplifting pop rock. But that song, in retrospect, like I said, I think I probably should have been a little kinder to it. I like that song decently. I gave it a 2.5, middle of the road. I definitely like that better. So ultimately, I mean, I might go and revisit that song come New Year's. I might revisit Bringing It Home. Who knows? But for now, I have to give Lookin' Up, Wicked Awesome. I have to give Lookin' Up a 2 femurs out of 5.
Oh. No, I don't.
Me and Jeff hold the line.
With
Jeff.
you saying that, I went back and I looked at the scores that we gave for Bringing It Home, and I'm gonna have to come back to that one at the end of the year because I like Bringing It Home better than this song, and I did not give it the ranking
I would go back.
I gave this
song.
I
might come back to this one too. I mean, but right now, like,
it's not doing it for me.
It didn't resonate with me the way I wanted.
They put baked beans in my donut.
Yeah.
I just know it's a hard one because I'm always the one that like kind of says don't compare, just take it as the song, but I know there's so much better than this song. That's how I feel. I like the message, but I know they can do way better.
There was when I was looking at the video, one of the comments said this song feels like the ending credits song for an early 2000s romantic comedy starring Adam Sandler. And I can't disagree.
Yep.
I'm going to change my ranking to a 1.6, actually. Because now I'm hearing the song at the end of Jack and Jill, and I hate myself.
I would say 51st Dates.
But see, 51st Dates is a decent.
That's no Jack and Jill.
Compared to, like, Jack and Jill, which is, like, yeah.
Well, yeah, but I could see this at the end of 51st Dates. This song would fit there. So this week, I really like this video. So this week's appearance is going to be just the making of this video, like how they created this island in the middle of Toronto for this video. So that's what the appearance will be.
Oh,
that's pretty interesting.
Well, they did this in a studio, of course, and so the making of the island is kind of cool. They filmed this in Toronto, but that is not where you can find us. Stefan, where can you find us?
On the internet.
Well, did you know that you can find us over at barenakedabcs@gmail.com?
Yeah, there. Bare Naked
ABCs on Twitter.
Is it Bare Naked Ladies ABCs or Bare Naked ABCs?
Bare Naked Baked Beans.
Bare Naked ABCs on Twitter.
Bare Naked Baked Beans. LL.
Now we have to buy that domain. Thank you, Aaron.
We need to get sponsored.
And also, you can also reach us on Facebook on BNL Podcast on Facebook. We would love to hear your thoughts on this song, and maybe you love this song more than we did.
Yeah, please, we'd love to hear your opinion.
Yeah.
Yes, we would love to hear what you have to think.
No matter how loony those thoughts might be.
What you have to say.
Nice segue.
Oh,
no.
There it is.
Yeah,
Rolling.
That was a segue? Oh, that's right. Next week we're talking about Louis Loon. Yes.
You knew it. Stop chewing into the mic, dude. That's gonna
Man, he's
that's all
chewing
I can
the
hear.
scenery. He's chewing on baked beans. He's chewing everything.
At least close your mouth.
Those are some crunchy baked beans.
They're Boston baked
They
beans.
are. They're wonderful. You could have told me about an hour ago about that, and I would have stopped, and not since I didn't know you guys could hear me.
I was going to text you, but
I'm gonna have to edit all that out now.
Yes.
Crap.
It's pretty loud and boisterous.
Oh, great.
doesn't take somebody with a degree to figure out if you're chewing on a podcast, they're going to hear you.
Thanks, that was fun. Don't forget, no regrets, except maybe one.
To celebrate joining Pantheon Podcasts, Rock Camp, the podcast, the official podcast of Rock and Roll Fantasy Camp, is giving away a guitar signed by Mike Portnoy of Dream Theater, Marty Friedman, formerly of Megadeth, and legendary shredder Zakk Wylde, plus our rockstar counselors like Vinny Appice, Monty Pittman, and more. To enter to win, simply follow, rate, and review our podcast on your preferred platform, and that's all you have to do. For more information, go to rockcamp.com/podcast.